The truth is, most people don't need a better plan. They need a boring one. And it wasn't until I embraced that I got in the best shape of my life. So if you've been spinning your wheels, I'll show you why boring works and how it can guarantee you get lean. Okay, so have you ever found yourself endlessly scrolling through videos even though nothing new or interesting pops up? You know that little itch in your brain that makes you swipe anyways? Well, here's the thing. It's not the videos. It's your brain chasing novelty. Every new clip is a tiny dopamine hit, and dopamine is the brain's reward chemical. It's the thing that tells you, do it again, do it again. But here's the problem. Craving novelty doesn't just mess with your attention span. It messes with your results. When it comes to getting lean, chasing the next shiny workout or diet hack guarantees one thing: spinning your wheels. You never stick with anything long enough to see real progress. And that's why boring is a secret weapon. Yeah, it's boring, but it works. And that's why if you stick with it, you'll get lean. Guaranteed. So why does boring work better than flashy new programs? Think about it like watering a plant. You could buy the best fertilizer out there, but if you only water it every now and then, or you keep changing what you put in it, then it won't grow. And the same applies to your body. Boring works because it hits the fundamentals that actually drives fat loss. Things like consistent nutrition, progressive training, and recovery. You don't need gimmicks, extreme workouts, or fad diets. Just the basics done consistently. And here's the thing. Boring routines don't suppress dopamine. They redirect it. Meaning, every time you hit a workout PR, every time you log a meal, every time you log a lift, your brain gets that small win or hit. But this one actually moves you towards your goal. And this is known as productive dopamine. And it's what makes boring things feel rewarding over time. And just to clarify what I mean by lean, I'm talking roughly about the 12 to 15% body fat percentage for most men, because that's the range where your muscles begin to show, your abs begin to pop, and your body looks defined. You see, boring is designed to get you into that range without the gimmicks, extremes, or just straight BS. Well, here's what it looks like in practice. Repeat workouts, so sticking to the same proven routine, same exercises, same progression scheme, gradually increasing the weight and reps over time. For example, my split looks like this. Monday, full body A, Wednesday, full body B, Friday, full body A. I've been running this split for about 8 months now, and I have no intention in changing it. My only focus is to increase the weight and increase the reps of each exercise. That's it. Repeat meals. So eating the same meals consistently. Is it the most interesting thing ever? No, not really. But it removes all guesswork, keeps you on track with your calories and macros, and frees up mental space so that you can focus on all other areas in life, like work, family, and side projects. For instance, a simple daily meal plan could be oats and eggs for breakfast, chicken, rice, and broccoli for lunch, and salmon, sweet potato, and greens for dinner. Repeat habit, a specific sequence of tasks you perform morning, day, and night. Getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, taking a 20-minute walk after meals, prepping multiple meals at the start of the week. You see, these tiny actions add up, and over time, they become effortless. It's almost like your body begins to expect them, repeated for months on end. Yeah, the initial changes might be small, but consistency compounds. Even 1% each week adds up, and over months, the results become undeniable. That's the power of boring. So why do most people fail despite giving it their all? Most people fail not because they don't try hard. They try hard. It's just they try hard on the wrong things, like the latest trends, the latest workout split, the new crazy diet, which aren't even sustainable in the slightest bit. They're too busy being productive on things that don't produce results. You see, boring fixes that by keeping your focus directly on what really matters and what drives results. But how will you know if this boring stuff is actually doing anything? Well, you'll figure out the same way that you do with everything else in life. You track it. Take progress pictures, log your lifts, measure your body stats, then assess for steady improvement. These week-to-week wins trigger dopamine too, you know. They'll keep you motivated even when the routine feels dull. Over time, those small victories compound into real visible change. But what happens if you're doing everything right and you're still not getting lean? Listen, boring isn't magic. If you've been consistent for months and you still aren't seeing progress, that doesn't mean that boring doesn't work. That just means that something needs adjusting in your plan. So check your data. Are you truly pushing yourself during workouts? Or are you just going through the motions? Are you really consistent with your meals? Or do you cheat on weekends? Is sleep or stress killing your recovery? Or are your late night scrolling sessions draining you? Once you identify these weak points, you can adjust them and get back to boring. That's the importance of tracking. Now I know what you're wondering. Does it always have to be boring? Well, the answer is no. But the longer you stick with the core routine, the bigger and better your results. Small tweaks are fine. Change the odd exercise, add some new seasoning to a meal. Just don't disrupt the core foundation of the plan. Now, at first, boring may seem demotivating, but do you want to know what's worse? looking at yourself 6 to 12 months from now in the mirror and seeing yourself trapped in the same body that you're not proud of. I promise you, sticking to what's boring and watching your body respond to the effort that you're putting in will evaporate boredom quicker than any latest trend or fad could ever. But there's still an issue. Like I mentioned earlier, people try their hardest and despite doing so, still fail. And that's because of the absence of one change that makes everything I told you completely meaningless. So watch this video to learn what this change is and how you can finally apply it to lose fat, build muscle, and get lean.